The Graboids are giant subterranean worm-like monsters that were introduced in the movie Tremors from way back in the 1990s and its subsequent sequels. These are ancient underground monsters that have been stated to have existed from the pre-Cambrian age and survived the hundreds of millions of years underground. They have a weird body structure, an even weirder anatomy, and a very interesting life cycle. So in short, the main Graboid is around 20 to 30 feet long and weighs in excess of 20 tons. Its body's shape is similar to a slug, but with spikes around its body that it uses to dig and traverse underground. Its life cycle is separated into different stages, which includes the eggs, an underground phase, a terrestrial phase, and also an aerial one. But here in this video we will skip all that and go straight to the 4 different species that they have evolved into and were seen in the many movies and series. We will describe them and their life stages and then make a comparison as well. So let's get to it. The first species, the American Graboid. Seen in the first 4 Tremor movies, this is the first species to be discovered and they were found in Perfection Valley in Nevada, USA. When fully grown into its Graboid stage, it measures 30 feet or 9 meters long with 3 snake-like tongues that emerge from the central mouth and stretch out for another 3 meters or 10 feet. The 3 tongues each have a mouth, teeth, and 2 pairs of horn-like projections on the upper jaw, and also they have a lower jaw. They also seem to work semi-independently like the arms of an octopus and are equipped with touch sensory organs. The Graboid's body is encased in a hide that is thick and leathery with rough pebble texture, giving it a reptile-like appearance, but studies suggest that these are more related to cuttlefish than any other life form. The central mouth of the Graboid is composed of an armored beak with a lower jaw and an upper jaw, and also 2 mandibles from the side. So the life cycle of this Graboid starts with an egg that can lay dormant for centuries on end, and then when suitable factors kick in, they hatch and a small dirt dragon stage comes out, which then grows into maturity in a matter of 3 months. The mature Graboid then dies, and from inside of its body emerge 3 shriekers, which have the same Graboid mouth but with legs to move on the surface. These shriekers emit a high-frequency sound and possess a thermal imaging organ on their heads. After a few days of asexually reproducing and growing in number, they then shed into the last stage, which is called the ass blaster, that has wings and can glide in the air. Their name, as it suggests, tells us that these creatures emit a highly flammable gas from their butts, which ignites and propels them into the air. Then these ass blasters lay the next set of eggs in hot springs, and the cycle continues. The next species, the African Graboid. This species was seen in the movie Tremors 5 Bloodlines, and they are a bit different than their American species counterparts. Other than having a more robust body and a stronger exoskeleton, their mouths also differ slightly as their lower jaw has split into 2 parts, giving them the appearance of a mouth with 5 individual beaks. They can also jump into the air from under the ground and ambush their prey with smarter tactics. They have far more prominent body spines, skeletal-looking ridges on their bodies, and they are bigger than their American cousins, with them measuring 40 to 50 feet long or 12 to 15 meters. Their most prominent difference, though, is their tongue-like tentacles, which can detach and function as independent organisms. They also appear to look like face huggers from the Alien franchise rather than snakes, hence getting the name grabbers. So their life cycle is pretty much similar, even though we did not see any form of shrieker in the area where they were propagating. So it's probably the same: eggs, dirt dragons, graboids, then shriekers, and the ass blasters. The last stage, the aerial form, differs greatly from the American counterparts. While the American ass blasters are elegant in shape and have a gliding wing with a long beak-like mouth, the African ass blasters have a rounder body with flappable wings and a mouth that is circular with shark-like teeth. Other differences include them being faster and stronger, also having a more powerful ass blast, as well as being nocturnal hunters rather than day hunters as in the case of the Americans. The African species ass blasters also lay their eggs inside of caves instead of hot springs. The third species, the Arctic Graboid. Seen in the movie Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell, these are the third species to be discovered. However, the movie suggests that this species might have been the primogenitor, the first one, and then they gradually evolve into the other species as they propagated and went south. In appearance, they have the rougher body design of the African variant, but smaller in size, measuring 10 meters or 33 feet long and weighing 20 tons, just like the American species. They have a 5-way parting mouth and a set of 3 grabbers that cannot detach from their main body, like the American, but possesses the appearance of the African species grabbers. They also follow a similar life cycle as the African species, with no shrieker stage seen. and the ass blaster stage closely resembles the African ones, which tells us that the Arctic species may be more closely related to the African ones than the American species, although the Americans are closer by location. They however lay eggs in hot springs and also guard their brood of eggs, unlike the Perfection Valley species. Now lastly, the fourth species is the Oceanic Graboid, which is a genetically enhanced species that was brought into Southeast Asia by a hunter and then propagated them in Game Island. This species was seen in Tremors' Shrieker Island, the movie, and measures 30 feet or 9 meters long like the American species, but looks like a mix between both American and African species. It has the African species mouth, which parts 5 ways, but the body of an American species. The tongues are similar to the Arctic species, but it has one trait which is unique from all the others. This species can swim from one island to the other. It is also more powerful and durable than the others, with it having the ability to pierce through or penetrate the thick bunker walls which were built to endure nuclear blasts. Anyway, its life cycle is also pretty much the same, and it is the only other variant that has the Shrieker form, although its Shrieker stage has segmented bony armors on their heads and can emit a shriek that paralyzes victims or prey items, hence weaponizing their sound. They were also developed into the ass blasters, but they were killed off before they got the chance. So with that, we come to the end of this Graboid video and the 4 different species. Now if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and do check out our channel for other monster content. We might have things you haven't seen before. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, fam.